What up? It's your girl Tiff B First, and I am back with the first edition of 99 Problems for 2024. And like I told you last week, it's going to look a little different. You know, there's a few things that, I'm in my head about when it comes to climbing in gyms, specifically bouldering focused gyms, filming myself bouldering in bouldering focused gyms, and watching myself back bouldering in bouldering focused gyms. I'm not very confident in my bouldering, mostly because I'm technically not supposed to be bouldering. So I decided to do this slightly different format where basically I'm gonna choose 3 climbs, because for me, bouldering right now is all about choosing precise climbs. There's a few factors that go into the climbs that I choose. Unfortunately, it's not the difficulty level. That is not of my concern. But it's really, what type of movements does it have? Is it high risk movements where I'm going to re-injure myself or further injure myself? Can I get down if I am struggling? So are there down climb jugs or easy climbs, to the left or right of it that I can easily get down from? And then also just kind of like the risk factor. Like, I can climb something where I know that I'm peaking and I'm going to just come down because I can't finish it for whatever reason. Or is it like a true project where you fall unexpectedly? I cannot climb anything in which I would think the crux involves me falling unexpectedly. That's a no. So, I really kind of want to just take you into my mindset when I'm doing some of these climbs, because I don't think you fully understand sort of that, I guess, para bouldering, adaptive bouldering mentality that goes on in your head. Climbing is a head game. Let's be real. We all know this, or we who do this on some type of regularity know that is really a head trip. And so add to it this factor of I can't fall, you can't fall, don't fall. And it just takes it even further. And so a lot of it for me has just been kind of confidence building, trust, and just building up my head game. So yeah, I decided to do it a little differently. I picked the 3 climbs, and then I take you back into my climbing garage. Obviously, it's really an everything garage. So, before my injury, I was really big into tennis, cycling. I'm still into some of these things, but it's a lot of sports. You may even see my snowboard back there somewhere, which is quite sad if I never get to use it again, which is a high probability. So if you're looking for a snowboard, hit me up. Yeah, so I'm going to take you into these 3 climbs and really just kind of tell you what my thought process was. So if you like this format, feel free to let me know. If you don't like this format, I don't care. I'll probably keep doing it this way. I switch up how I've done 99 Problems over the years, so who knows? Maybe I won't like it and I will just go back to, trying something in the gym. One thing I think I want to add to it is kind of a time limit. As we know, the more you try to climb, the worse your progression can get. The fatigue can set in. So, I miss competition climbing. And I'm not saying that I'm never going to do a competition again. It just won't be the same or as competitive in my mind for me. So this is kind of like giving myself a little comp climbing style of fun. I don't know. When you solo boulder, a lot of the time, this is what it is. So I think giving myself kind of like that 5-minute clock to finish one of these 3 boulders, and see how far I can get on it. A lot of this is just, I pick my sim point in some cases. If I know something's too tall, but it still has like a really nice low crux, I'll try it. And I'll say that this is where I'm ending. And I will let y'all know that I am not going to the top. I will let you know where my top is. Because who cares what people tell you to do? When I climb outside, I make my own routes. I don't care what the guidebook says. To me, it's just a reference. But in the gym, I'm starting to adapt that same mentality. And I want you to not feel like, oh my goodness, I'm not strong, or oh my goodness, I can't do this because I can't get to the top. The top is just the top. The middle is another place, and that can be your tops. Take it for what it's worth. So let's dive into it. We got 3 climbs we're gonna dig into, and I will tell you, this first climb, I knew that I wasn't going to get to the top. I didn't go into this climb with any intention on actually sending it. The reason I chose this climb is because I knew it was dynamic. And truthfully, I have never been into dynamic climbs. I'm all about overhangs and muscling. And you know, if you saw me a few years ago, the back was like pop, pop, pop. And that's my jam. And it's probably why I've never really gotten seriously injured, because I'm just like slow, static. I do my muscly moves and I go home and I'm good. But I wanted to do this purple dynamic climb because I wanted to test out my foot. Truthfully, I was like, I know there's a little bit of flexion, and maybe I'll take you a little bit deeper into the nuance of like what my foot cannot do. But basically my foot sits like this, and it's almost perfectly just a 90-degree angle. So I don't have what they call dorsiflexion. So my foot can't really bend this way. So for me to do something dynamic means I'd have less force to get up, and I'm just pushing down, or I have to rely a lot on my right foot. So I really just wanted to see, like, what can I do? Can I at least make this move? You know, it's not a huge dyno, and I don't really even know, because I've never really gotten into dynos, a lot of what it takes. I know it's like legs intensive, but I know climbers don't really train legs a lot. And so I don't know, but I have been actually focusing solely almost on working out my legs in my new home gym, which I'll give you a tour of when it's finally finished. But yeah, so, you know, let's just take a look and let's just see where I kind of get with this, because I kind of just walked into it again with no expectations of sending. And, you know, for me, I was trying to figure out, like, and this is the orange tag, so it's not a beginner climb, but it's not the most advanced. And so my brain going into this was like, I really don't want to be dynamic. How can I do this statically? You know, so can I do this statically? It looks so far away, so I kind of tried to start static and then, you know, figure out, is that move gonna work? So after several attempts to do this in a semi-static, semi-dynamic way, I decided to just go full static. And that's when I could kind of start to touch the hold and feel like I know I could get it if I just get to that hold. And my best attempt so far, or the attempt that made me almost think that, like, I can do this climb, like I can do it. That attempt was my best attempt. I went really, really slow, and I got my hand into the hold, but I couldn't keep it. I don't know if it was the swing that pulled me out, but that kind of gave me this false confidence of like, all right, I got this. I can definitely do this. I felt it, and I was sold that static was the way for me, that doing it dynamically was not going to work. And if I can touch it doing it static, then I'm good. The dyno thing was just out the window. But then I attempted a few more times, and I just started to roll back, and I could never get that grip in. And it really started to feel like it was more about my finger strength and less about my ability to get to the hold, whether it was dynamic or static. And so I decided after about 12 attempts to walk away from it and go to something, you know, a little bit easier, but still not yellow. Really, we're staying away from yellow tags in 99 problems, unless it's a really complex yellow tag. So next I moved into this yellow climb that kind of felt like a comp climb, which is very reminiscent of the method style. And so I was like, oh, yes, this is my jam. I could tell it was like sort of compression-y and really just about where you place parts of your body. It wasn't going to be this straightforward, muscly climb. It was going to be a little bit more technical. And really for me, a lot of this is about the head. And what I really miss about bouldering is breaking that puzzle. So I jump on this yellow climb, or I'm sorry, I jump on this yellow boulder, but it is a green tag. And, you know, the foot ain't great, so it's hard for me to start anything with my left foot, but I'm gonna make it work. And so it started out exactly like I thought it was gonna be, and I was like, oh, yes, I love it. This is exactly what I was hoping from this. And then I reach up, and it's only like a 4-move climb. And I reach up, and hanging on that boulder, I couldn't do it. So there's another climb a few weeks prior to this, and I'll show you that climb. The crazy thing is I don't know exactly how, but I hurt my right wrist. And I hurt my wrist either because I decided to hangboard after months of never hangboarding. Mind you, I wasn't hangboarding for like, I don't even know why. Like, why? People, do not hangboard. If you do not regularly climb, you haven't been climbing for a while. I don't care what people say. I know everybody's got their whole, when should you start hangboarding? It can cause injury. It can. I'm not saying it did, but when I did one climb at the gym one day, and I was really proud of this climb. You see it on Instagram, you'll see it. I'm very proud. I think I even put it in the last video. I was really proud that I sent this climb because it was tall, it was scary. But this move right here in this climb is the moment that I felt something weird in my wrist. And I didn't even do anything. It wasn't like a crazy move. So that's why I attribute it to the fact that I had a unnecessary hangboard session. It was like my warm up. And yeah, it actually took me, I think I'm now at the point where my wrist is back to normal and I'm okay and I can hang from it. It only hurts if I hang from it. Like I can side pull or I can do random other moves, but I could not hang from it for weeks. So I didn't give that any more attempts because for me, I'm not about to re-injure another extremity on my body for no reason. Bye. And that takes us to our third and final climb. And I think I just needed for me something that was a little bit more my style. But if you've ever been to Method and you know this corner of the gym, and I'm sorry, I don't know my direction, so I can't tell you exactly where this corner is, but this part of the gym is very tall. And I've done some really like official projects there, and it's always the height that gets me. And so I was like, well, let me do something tall. You know, I did something dynamic. I did something that wasn't super tall, but that was more technical. So let me go to something that is tall and also that I knew wouldn't hurt my wrist because most of the holds are facing sideways. So I jumped on this blue climb and it's another orange tag. So it's like oranges are the second easiest and then green is kind of getting up into that middle range. So I'm hoping the next 99 problems I'll do more green tags. But this one, I was like, okay, this feels like my jam because I know I can like take advantage of the fact that I still have a lot of my upper body strength. I still have a lot of flexibility. I do still practice yoga. Yoga is amazing. Please, please, please get on your yoga game. And, you know, a lot of it for me was just like, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. It's just not a good spot for me to fall. So, you know, it wasn't a hard climb, period. And I needed to walk away from the day with a win. And so for me, this was my win. And so the thing too is like, so you have to understand is I have to down climb everything I go up. And so there was no more jug. So I have to fall a little bit. So I do this kind of one-legged fall where I fall and roll back and, you know, try not to put as much impact on the left leg so I don't progress things further towards surgery. But yeah, I love this climb. I loved it. You know, you may look at it like, oh, that was easy. I know depending on your climbing level, climbing style preference, it isn't easy, but I enjoyed it because, again, it was a win for me. It was something that I could try. Obviously, it wasn't a project like the first climb. And I actually think I would have sent the yellow one. It just wasn't worth the risk factor for me. So, yeah, that is 99 Problems, the new style. And, you know, I'm going to continue to try to diversify it. I don't know if I'm going to ever do a slab. Slab is kind of like a no-go for me. I do project some pretty hard overhanging climbs, but even in the sort of overhang room at my gym, it gets a little bit taller, so I don't always go to the top. And so again, I'll let you know where my send point is. But which one of those 3 climbs is your favorite, or would you have tried? And, you know, again, do you want me to keep doing it in this style, or, you know, the old style was really just me doing everything at the gym. But it's kind of interesting because I do think there is a lot to watching yourself climb, even if it's not because you're trying to start a YouTube channel. If you just want to really start to learn about technique, I think that's when I started to learn about flagging and back flag and all these other different terminologies and drop knees and things that I started putting on my Instagram. I didn't understand how powerful the legs were in climbing for the first year or two because I wasn't, you know, binge watching YouTube or how to climb videos. I was just climbing and, you know, trying to get my strength up. And so, you know, it's interesting to start to see yourself, progress from day 1 climbing to day 551 climbing, and really just seeing how you position your body. So I have a lot planned for this channel, a lot more educational content. Believe it or not, I am an educator and have been for 15 to 20 years. And yes, I am old enough to say that. But I really love climbing. And even though I can't do certain things, I do sort of understand the nuances of it. Although I'm awful at giving beta from the ground, I just don't know why, but I am. So I can't help you there. But I got a lot going on this channel. So of course, if you love going on this journey with me, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for so much more because I still love climbing, y'all. I love it. And I love you, and thank you for watching and supporting and, you know, helping this struggling boulder get back on the wall. In the meantime, between time, see you next climb. Peace.